Hello Blue folks, welcome and welcome back to epistemic-gnomes, and this is another, well, second day of the week, no, third day, Wednesday. So here we got more rigging, so it's the second time. So we're going to, I also forgot here the timing, so we got 1 hour straight to work on some rigging improvements here. So let's place this here, and this time I won't extrapolate because this can't continue like that. And if I need to absolutely to do a little more to not cut off, I'll just add maybe half time, like half hour, something lesser, much lesser than 1 hour. So then that should be it, but I hope we'll be able to get everything done. Well, just a demonstration of some workflow here. Retakes right on this car. So let's get this. Just got some new soundtrack here. It's more like an ambient thing. It's too short, but I'm looking for this kind of ambient soundtracks. So here, let's go to the file, and alright, so there's some, yeah, so last time I was trying to make some alternative ways to get this automation for the dual fan bones here, but even one is the problem. There's two problems in doing this automation. One problem is the parenting thing, or indirect posing. It is the automation problem. And the other problem, which also relates to the automation, is the rotation mode, which is horrible. So in Blender, at least, things don't seem to work very well whenever we attempt to use some sort of copy rotation. A lot of things can go wrong because the copy rotation bone constraint, it doesn't have this order default thing. Is like it seems to break quaternions, so it doesn't, if the bone already has some sort of quaternion, then it will just break it and it will transform it in some Euler thing, I guess. Explicitly specify the Euler rotation order. Yeah, and that is sort of seems to break the whichever we do here. So it's like very complicated. I never had so much problem with that, and turns out that any bone constraint, like I've just found out, which has similar inputs, like for example the map to rotation, same thing. So it's here will have the same problem. And I don't think the mix can save it. I don't think so. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe we can take from the map from. No, not even that. Well, oh, now that's interesting. Alright, so maybe there is something to do after all. Let's try this. So this is just will be a. So basically, what I want to do, of course, is not here. What I'm doing. So currently, the fan bone is yeah, have some. Where is the shifty? There's some select here, bone selection set hand. Okay, let's be it. So that will simplify stuff. So currently, I have this bone which has no parent at all. So let's take all this off. Okay, so it's stiff, it's doing nothing. So I'm gonna try to simplify this. Let's get a copy, no, not copy transform. Actually, there's a missing bone here. I know it's not just because of the layer. Let's get the tweak system here. All right, reset. Okay, I think all these are shifty hand. Yeah, this is it. In case you don't know this, this is the, yeah, let's make a highlight here. So folks, this is super interesting for rigging as well, not just for 3D animation in Blender, which is the select, I always did confuse, select menu here on pose mode, so we get the bone selection set, which I think, is this a default shortcut? I don't know. The Shift T anyways, this works for me. So here we can add some selection sets from this. So for example, I've made here a selection of bones. Of course we need to have them visible somewhere, right? If the collection, okay, so at least leave some collections. This is bone manager extension actually. So for example, I've made a selection here. So Shift H, this is some of the selection I've made, at least on those bone layers. So what I need here is that I've assigned, right, these bones. So it's a Control F key hand left, a Master I key hand left, and two dual fan bones, deform helper bones, right, for the wrist, which is an intermediate joint. So just for rigging to help us get this automation from these bones, and eventually there will be other bones involved, but this, so basically I was assigned those things, and yeah, if I remove we lose them, but okay, assign. Then what we get is that we can get Shift T here on pose mode, and anytime we can get this hand and everything got selected. So if we messed up with all the collections, right, and solo all, this is a quick favorite for this operation here, and solo all, right? So now if you got this madness, all of those bones on the rig, that is super disastrous. So not a problem, because we can just have here the Shift T. Also works on edit mode apparently. No, yeah, doesn't work on, apparently doesn't work on edit mode, so just for pose mode, but it's okay because Shift T hand, then Shift H, then we can swap to edit mode and do Shift H also, and there we go. And this is showing because, oh yes, this was also part of the, yeah, so this time I got the whole right, everything is showing. So this is why I had also this deform bone. So this is super useful, is the selection sets extension. So it was upgraded, right, to a selection sets. Actually, maybe since I've got it already, maybe it's here. Wait. Strange. Okay, I don't know where to find it. Maybe it's rigging stuff. Yeah, maybe it's a default now. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe it's not installed also. Okay, folks. So maybe now selection sets on Blender 4.3 or something like that is already. It's not even an extension anymore. It's inbuilt rootly. I'm not sure, but I couldn't find there strangely. So I'll always call selection sets. So that's it, folks. So this is super useful for, and actually I've had another use here for animation. Like always I need to select the fingertips there, and then I just got, okay, so I made a wrong assignment here. So remove, let's get, so I just want these ones. I could make this better. So just for the left, so what I have here is a select. What's happening? Okay, remove, let's try again. So select something. Oh, there's something include selection set. Okay, so maybe I don't know how to use this. Anyways, yeah, let's finish here. I'm gonna cut. Yeah, I hate this. Okay, so here let's go back and let's get back to our useful collections here. I probably need the helper ones and the tweak. Yeah, okay. So now let's get this thing. Okay. Alright, so for the automation here, folks, basically I want to set a new system. I'm gonna try if that will work for the automation. So instead I'm gonna automate from this and hope that might work. So transformation bond constraint. So basically what I want, local spaces might be sufficient. Yeah, they are matching the axes, I guess. It's essentially this one and these other ones, they are matching. So I'm gonna bring here the wrong it's here. So transformation bond constraint. I'm gonna bring local space, not local with parent, that is disaster. And so yeah, local space, yeah, we don't have the setup yet, so it doesn't matter. So here we're gonna get the rotation, yes, of this bone. We're gonna pick the original with quaternions. I want it like as we rotate along normal x. Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, because this is like I gotta match everything in the inverse, right? Because these are at least intermediate joint. So let's say here that this is negative 90. Yeah, let's start with 90 or 100. Right? Negative. Why this is positive? Okay, so this is positive. Alright, so here we got rotation map from rotation quaternion. So let's say yeah, the minimum. Okay, let's negative that. Let's copy this thing, and the positive will be this, so this will be symmetric. Then okay, this is set. So I'm just doing this because for demonstration of problems or a solution if I find how that this mode I've totally forgot. So get to rotation x, y, z, so they are matching each one. So here we want a derotation for this bone, the map to the owner bone of the bone constraint, so it's on local space, so they are matching the axis. So this is okay, right? Then we need here to get, so it will be the inverse because it's a derotation. So what I'm gonna get, as the other bone rotates in one direction, we're gonna get some inversion here, and I need to match this equally so they will be symmetric. Here I'm gonna meet default because, so I'm gonna do these inversions and add, I'm gonna replace the mix. So let's try here. Okay, this won't do anything because this is indirect posing. This is the real posing, and we see we are getting, and it looks like that the bone, the helper bone, this deaf fan wrist, is not going crazy, which is apparently a very good thing. Yes, it's not going crazy. These combined rotations, especially if we've got some y and then z, this goes wild very, very easily with the Euler stuff. So I think this is happening this time because I didn't forget to get this mode here on something else. So I left it auto Euler, and then that would cause some bad behavior that maybe we'll be able to visualize here. So rotate x, rotate z. Yeah, there you see. You see that madness? So if I get here the quaternions, which don't have this option from the copy transforms bond constraint, that seems to be okay. Let's combine the rotations, like mad rotations, and see if this is correct. I'm afraid we might have some. No, seems to be okay. So that seems to be working, folks. So this is thanks to the transformation bond constraints. I don't think maybe drivers can do that too for the rotation, but the fact is that now this is work, so this is a big progress on my rig. So this is one less problem to care about. So I fixed I found a very nice alternative for all this madness here. There is one last problem though, and the last problem is that the automation doesn't respond to indirect posing like this one, which is the parent. If this one, for instance, this bone is parent to see, but it's not responding. The automation only responds to its parent and not to the parent of the parent posing. This is a tragedy in Blender, because nearly a tragedy, because to solve this problem, another way would be a cheesy way, is just to replace this, like yeah, we can do some sort of replace and shift D. Yeah, this will be, I think this is very crude, right? So after original, gonna change the target. This is super crude. I hated doing this, but that would work. And here, so this is before. Okay, before original. All right, so this is control. So this, yeah, what's this? Okay, it's so hard to. Okay, I need to hide all that. Okay, so this is no, this is before original. Could be replaced that, but it will be of okay, before original for the control hand. Could be the opposite, I think. And this is, oops, hold on, folks. And this is after original, the second one. And so this is the let's get here. Yeah, so this is master I key hand left. Oh, no, not this, because as we symmetrize this, don't symmetrize the name of the bone constraint, so just leave like that. Is it will here it does symmetrize, so this is what useful. This is just for naming to help us see what's going on, so leave like that. So here maybe could have an improvement for this automation. Anyways, so here that means that now I have precise if I keep rotating, you see the stuff, they keep adding together. Sometimes this could cause some issues if the hand is offset, like, yeah, like if this is offset, you see this is not following, but this is another problem. So here what can we do about this one? Let's just parent it so it doesn't have a parent, or let's try this will be a problem, right? So let's see if I can get the helper, the def and wrist there. Let's see if I can parent it to something like this target I key hand, right? So it is parented to the, okay, let's try this, and I hope I don't get the double transforms here. We don't seem to get it to be getting this is not clear what is doing. Let's see, rotate this amount, rotate. Oh yes, we see that suddenly this this bone, right, is not responding. So maybe it never did respond, right? But so let's just unparent here. No, it did respond, right? So without parenting, it's doing the correct thing, right? Yeah, it is just that the alignment is different, so there is something confusing about that, but it's just because these bones are moving. Yeah, so the parenting here, I'm still not sure. It doesn't need the parenting, right? But we can, of course. So this is what happens, of course. If I get this thing, it goes to the I key, so that's why I can't parent it there. But maybe it's a parent directly to the control wrist, to the control hand. No, not even that. Well, there is a derotation right now, but now it gets the parenting. So this is super annoying. So okay, so there is a positioning problem here. Maybe I should parent it to the hand bone then. There's a hand bone there, alright. Alright, so select all, shift, select all. It's an okay, select all. It was hidden already on the edit mode here, shift H. So gonna, I don't think that will work because the, well, at least this one is splitting itself towards the two systems, I guess. So there's a chance this can work. Also, let's get this thing here, alright. Let's do a test here. Take off the widgets. There is a derotation, right? But it doesn't seem to be. Okay, there is a derotation. Maybe I've lost some of the power of the derotation, but it is happening. And for this one, we see there is still derotation. So it's the same amount of derotation. It's subtle, but that can be sufficient already for, or maybe I should augment. Yeah, so let's get this thing, like, it's annoying, so instead let's try 45. Yeah, the problem is that it's everything, right, needs to be doing this for this and then for this as well. It's very bit annoying to yeah, transformation bone constraint, but at least it doesn't wreak havoc rotations, right? So this we can also play with the influence, right, if we don't want. So the influence could be, right, the influence, if we got a larger values, then we can play with the influence. That could help. Alright, so it got parented to the wrist, to the hand, deformed hand, right? And now it is, so I believe this is working better, because this bone, it gets in one hand it goes towards this by F key parenting, and on another direction it goes, it has also the pathway for I key. I don't know, there's too much complications here to explain, so it doesn't matter. What matters is that it works. Let's say that this bone is like it's as it is being splitted, right? So this is why it seems to respond correctly. And now this dual fan bone here, which I'll have to readdress the wave painting, right? Okay, it's a deformed bone, this is a deformed bone, so maybe I'll have to readdress their waves. Anyways, not now. I need to find out its some things here. Alright, so again, let's get the gizmos here. So let's imagine that the wrist rotates like here. Oh, there's no automation, right? So there's annoying. So the derotation, as this derotates on the obtuse angle, this should also rotate for the obtuse angle, yeah, on the opposite direction of this sharp angle. So that means that probably what I have here, so I'm gonna make a different save here. I'm gonna open here and let's do here hold stiff helper bone technique, yeah, wrist. So this is an example, it's just still no, okay, because now with this new system I can it's another way to address the problem. So instead what I had before was I had a copy transforms fake parent, then I had another copy transforms, then I have another copy transforms, and this is the stiff, and then I had to create the extra bone. So it's not too different than I have, but it might be easier to maintain, but it needs an extra bone. So I don't like the setup of having an extra bone. So let's hope I won't need this back on the. So it's an it's an interesting technique, but I don't like the extra bone. I prefer to keep it simple. So right now, so this will be the smaller angle. So you see that this bone is rotating wrongly. So I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna parent it to the forearm bone, because I trust that my setup will be able to solve this. Oh yes. So there's an interesting thing, folks. Local with parent. Let's make the demonstration here. Yeah, if that works, that works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So folks, let me show you a demonstration of an automation of a helper fan bone here for the intermediate joint of the wrist, right? Forearm hand joint. So this is very complicated, but because of the rotations, so there are stacking problems here, and it turns out I found one solution that sort of, oh no, I've lost my, okay, my blender crashed. Fortunately, I just lost my setup. Okay, let's get back. Yeah, when did I lose the... Oh no, I didn't lose anything, folks. So it is just like this. Ah, silly me. So it was just that it had other bone constraints. So this fan bone here, it's responsible for derotating the joint mesh on the area of the hand, while this other fan bone, there will be a 12 fan bone system, it will derotate same joint but on more closer to the forearm, to the end of the forearm, so near the joint. So here, what we ignore the rotation, it's inverted, so it's not working well. The problem is you might think that just adding a copy transforms would be sufficient for this automation. Well, turns out this is actually not very functional for a complex joint or intermediate joint like this one. Why? Because of the order. Like this thing, this property here would, even though my bones here, they are on the rotation mode, which is the quaternions, which usually, maybe something is missing, but yeah, usually everything is on quaternions here. This thing will sort of get an output towards Euler rotation, and this will wreak havoc rotations. So for instance, if I want an inverted rotation on a different variation, let's say local space, the axis, let's say that on the rest position, the axis of this, the fan bone and the hand bone, they are equivalent. So right, so no, they just okay. So here we already have the derotation, right, because of the inverse. The problem here is the following, folks, is that if I, okay, the target of this is the Control F key. So there are two problems. So this is not responding to the master I key hand, but it responds, the derotation of the fan bone responds to the control. Well, I can't read here anyhow, but yeah, so the Control F key hand, which is here. So there's two problems. One is the indirect posing that would activate the automation. So this is one problem. And the other problem, which we'll see soon, is the combined madness rotations of the joint when of the bone when I start to make some poses at some point. I'm not being able to see this right now. I've disabled the other things. So let's do some rotate along normal on the X, then rotate for the Z. Aha! What the heck is this? Welcome to Euler rotation. No, this is madness. So this cannot work, and what happens is that whichever thing we place here, that will be Euler rotation, and that will wreak havoc, these combined rotations. I've tested all and nothing will. It's probably gimbal lock stuff. So eventually, if we just have a simple rotation, like if it was for the elbow or the knee, we wouldn't have this problem with copy rotation, probably because we just wanted to deal with one axis. We might have other problems, but not exactly like this. So like this we will eventually have. So rotate on Z, rotate on X, and then rotate on Y. So eventually something, something crazy will happen, and then this doesn't work. At least maybe I'm missing something, but turns out so that copy rotation bone constraint is, in my opinion, it's broken. Like it will never work. I've the mix, the local space, and all that. No, it's because of this thing, this conversion, because there's not quaternions here. So there are other ways to work around around this problem. So turns out that the transformation bone constraint, here I have one just for the Control F key hand. So I got the local space, right, onto, okay, they are aligned, so on edit mode, so that is safe, right? So just local space, influence maximum. We can play with this if we want to map from. So you see that this mode now is richer. We get the quaternion. So this is the target bone. Map from. Yes, this is the target bone. So the target bone, which is the Control F key hand here. So as we got certain, okay, we can maximize this, provide they are symmetric here, the values, that's okay in this setup, right? So we just, the minimum X rotation, you see, rotation here is negative 120 degrees, the maximum is positive 120 degrees, and also so all very simple here, no problem. So it's just that if I rotate more, it eventually it will stop the automation, I guess. So that's why I put a higher value here. It's just a bit more than 90 degrees. So so maybe this is enough. I don't know. That you see that at some point, let's reset here. So check the value here, right? So now it's 90 degrees. You see that when you reach no, this is okay, it's not, I don't know why it warped anyway. So now the map 2, again rotation, you see here we don't have a choice, it's the same problem, but for some reason which is unclear to me, this will not wreak havoc the rig. So just leave at default, will not wreak havoc the rotations of the bone. And so even on combined rotations, at least, so here X, Y, Z, so this is the default thing, one for, right, they are matching here. X map 2 will correspond to the X map from, and Y, Z, and Z. So here we got, and here the mix could be anything. In this case I placed this before original because I'm gonna add another one, but this is another problem. So it could be anything here. I think just leave like that for now. The bone is free to be posed. So here let's do the combined rotations. So I've rotated already a lot on the Z. I'm rotating a lot on the and the X, then a lot on the Z now, Z axis. Let's reset here, folks. Let's try again. So a lot on the X, then a lot on the Z. You see the bone seems to be following, and then a lot along the Y axis. So where is the madness? Well, no madness apparently. And this is, I believe that this is because the transformation bone constraint, it can use this, which matches the bones, and it doesn't. So this will and I don't know, this will make the software understand that I want quaternions and I don't really want Euler. So however, maybe if I did something here, let's see, Weakest favor X. Yeah, let's try this. I believe this will cause wreak havoc. Yeah, there we go. So probably this is not good, right? So I can't be totally sure that this would not happen otherwise, but in my experience, in my tests, this is safe. So this is a way to achieve that. And then there's another big issue, which is related to the, it's not so grave, but it can be really annoying for automations. But the caveman solution is just to have double transformation bound constraints, one for the I key, one for the control, one for each controller that we want to. What's happening? Oh, I'm on pause mode. Yes. Why? Okay. So hold on, folks. All right. Here. So one for the control F key, which will be like the first. So it goes before original. Maybe it's not exactly the meaning, but okay, they will stack, and this one will stack non-destructively. There would be other ways. We could probably place replace on the first, and then we could get after original or add on the other one. Probably that will also work. So maybe this is even easier. But then maybe the bone is locked. Yeah, so we can pause it, which can be a little annoying. So, or we can have add and add. I think that also could work. So you see that both bones will activate the derotation. Maybe you don't see very well, but I have tested. Yeah, so see, this seems to activate. It's better without the. So this will derotate. This will also derotate. And so this is the caveman solution, and the bone is still parent in this complicated case to this deaf hand bone there, which is very basal in the deform rig. So it's not any mechanism bone, which can cause problem to the automation. So I had to go very deep into the hierarchy so that I could get something more basal like this one. Otherwise the parenting we can be a bit complicated, but if we don't parent it, yeah, I could maybe use a copy location bone constraint, but maybe it will have some problem with the rotation. So maybe we need a basal copy transforms bone constraint right before everything and replace, just so that it will mimic a parent. But here I found a way to parent it, and so it will not be suffering stacking transforms, right? Or at least I hope not. Let's see if there's something crazy going on. Why some bone there is moving, but this is something else, folks. This is something not related to the something I broke there, which maybe I've added a copy. No, it's not this. I need to find out what's going on. Oh, I just had the bone added, I think. Okay, so I need to do this crazy test, right, just to see if this if there's anything wrong here. So Shift T, hand. No, you see, everything seems to be in place. The bone, because sometimes it will inherit other rotations, so it's just that is good. Okay, so let's go back to 1 and go back here. So this is a way to get these things. Oh, forget the screencast. Okay, so the other problem, the other problem, which is also a complicated problem, I would say that because I can't still solve it, I'd say it's still related, would be an advanced rigging problem, because the more you do rigging, in Blender or maybe not, the more you see that, well, it's like Socrates, I know nothing. I know bullshit, right? This stuff is never ending rabbit hole, right? So the more I know, the less I really understand. The more I understand that I understand very little. Of course, in the realm of rigging, or right, it's not, maybe not as big as the real world outside, but let's say that you get the idea. We see more possibilities and impossibilities, and okay. So the other problem is the parenting. So if I didn't came up with this solution here, and I only had this one, so you see that I can have the automation from the control, but not from the master. And this is super annoying, because this can like limit a lot for leg rigging. Yeah, it can break automation. So one ideal thing that would work, if that was not cause other problems in Blender, would be local with parent. That will create the possibility. Oh, now it is automated. Yeah, but not so fast, bro. Because this is a tragedy. The target now, which is this one, will use its parent, and this one is parent to here. So this is parent to the hierarchy. This target space will not stop there. It will start to stack transforms from, you name it, whatever is higher hierarchy here. And for instance, where is the, yeah, I don't want these things. Let's get, okay, the form, just the helper, just yeah, this master, the tweak, right? So let's say that I have this center of gravity, right? And I'm rotating the center of gravity. Can you disrupt the rig, please? Disrupt the rig where it is. Aha! You see, this is not the default position. It started rotating, and I can't avoid this with the local lead parent. Apparently this other bone, well, it can't really rotate, it is locked, but I think I have a parent for it. Can this also cause the rotation? Yeah, so this, but this is not so grave because this rotates the hand, right? So it's more about these other bones, right? I think even something like this can, well, it depends on the parenting, of course. I picked the center of gravity because these bones, they reach the yes, this one, which reach the center of gravity. And then of course we have this master torso. I think this one wouldn't affect. Yeah, it's just the center of gravity and the root, because the root is parent of the center of gravity. There we go. And if I, okay, so this is madness. We needed a sort of an interruption here, right, to say how many levels of parenting. I know it might seem wrong, but the fact is that this is not exactly, this is like a sort of parent stacking through copy to transforms, and not through inherent parenting. So this is actually, this is not like it's with parents but through bone constraints. So it's like it's converting the parenting hierarchy to bone constraints. So this will wreak havoc. Parenting, real parenting relation want to do this thing because they will interact differently, but through bone constraints, through this kind of mixed here, we will get something really disruptive. And so if I turn this back to local space, we don't have the madness. So this can get really confused. So what can I do now? Well, I think there is little that can be done about this. So this is why right now, if we unparent the fan bone, even so, that will not work, my last finding, because is this the left? Yeah, it is the left. So let's pick this local with not this one, it's more the target. Local with parent. Okay, you get the distortion, but okay, let's say that then I unparent it, and well, we got a problem there, of course, because it is not following now. But then we make maybe let's get here. Yeah, there's that. Shift Alt. Let's get here. Let's add a copy transforms. This will put on, yeah, like that. Put it on the top. So now it's back there, and then it will get replaced by this stuff, right? Usually I prefer to work with pose space, but here we won't do anything. So now it is there, and I've unparented. You see that it will still be affected by the it's difficult to find out. Okay, this is affecting here. I can't see here if it doesn't seem to be. Okay, and this leads to another thing. Oh no, this not this will be another technique. Anyways, so here I don't know how to explain this, but the let's say here. Yeah, so by disconnecting the parenting, this doesn't work, right? The automation fails, but at least I don't seem to have this other problem, right? Okay, where is the Shift T, hand, Shift H? Yeah, so of course it is not local with parent. Aha, so but what is this? Reset. Yeah, it is definitively is being affected, right? There we go. So proof that even if you unparent, that will still have the right misery of this stacking transforms parent to parent. And so how do you use this thing? Well, I don't know. It'll be like you want to have stacking transforms on a rig for some reason, right? So I think this is a huge structural mistake in Blender, and I hope they maybe I should report even this video, right? Use this as some sort of way, yes, to publish this idea, and maybe they do something about this, because this is super useful, but we want to limit this stacking, right? Or we don't want this stacking to go crazy like that. We want to have it to behave like a true parent relation, right? Or have control of the level of hierarchy, one step, two step parent, until which parent it will go. Maybe this is too much, but that will be ideal, I think, so that it can have full control of this thing. So that's the highlight, folks. So this will be very useful for anyone trying to learn the uh, damaging adventure of rigging, brain damage. I'm joking, folks. I find rigging fascinating. So that's it, folks. Alright, let's go back here, and even though that is true, sometimes I get a bit depressed. Wow, I'm wasting so much time on those things. Oh, time's soon up, so I'm adding myself like 30 minutes like after this one, because it's getting funny, right? And I've just solved one little problem here. Oh, by the way, why this is unparented? Let's go back to edit mode and deform left that one. All right, which doesn't show here, so I'm gonna just symmetrize this one, and so I got this fixed. Good. Now I need to fix the other one, which has some... Wow, look at that. This is like... what is all that? I was trying to create a different setup, so... Yeah, then copy location, because I was trying to avoid parenting. And then we got a dumped track. Well, the dumped track might not be because of the parenting, mimicking parenting, right? Trying to the right, so the wrist to the forearm. So copy rotation that I wasn't aware of this madness completely. So now, so here we dumped that one. We are going, also it was wrong. I had the wrong idea about the derotation it should intake. So let's get Shift T, hand, Shift pose mode, no, Shift H. Okay, here we go. So as this gets the... Oh, you should get the... Why you have this? No, you don't need this. And so just enable this one. So this is my second step, right? So this is just like that, right? Now looks like why this bone is behaving strangely. It seems to be following some... wrist bone. It seems to be behaving strangely. Yeah, that's... No, it seems to be shearing. No, it's just it's posing, right? No, this is def wrist. No, it is what it is doing. It's not doing the job correctly. Oh, it's the wrong bone, of course. This is I was confused. This is a hand bone, actually. Yeah, I've changed the name. So it was getting something about the... It was getting... The shearing was very strange. This was usually something related to scaling, and it's the bendy bone there was the... Okay. Alright, so here we got this and got this. Yeah. So this is a new way to do this automation, and in this case this is usable that way because the joint is exactly at the hand, right at the extremity. It's not the same for knee or elbow joint. Okay, so let's fix so this would require us to make an adaptation, right? So that gets tiresome at some point, that we need to... You see the derotation there, though, with the hand bone there, right? So this is very nice. And then the other idea for the derotation is will be to, if I to get this varied influence, so that will be like, if I get a higher value, it's okay, I can change here, right? I would need more there, right? More derotation as a base, and from a higher base of derotation, then I start to reduce the influence here and here, because they are equivalent, right? So I'm just gonna call this derotator and as well as here derotator, and I'm going to resymmetrize this because so I get updated these two names. Now okay, let's get ourselves what I promised. $30 and that is the maximum I will go today, because I need to get rid of this habit of overdoing these streams, so that will be more comfortable for anyone joining, so you know that, oh, this stream will be 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. I'm ready to follow if I want. So also I'll get the timing better, always the same time, some updates I need to make. That regularity will help, I think will be better for everyone. Alright, then this automation, okay, the no automation here, but it's parent to def lower arm. Wait, yes, it's because it's aligned with it. Aligned, at least not the direction, only the orientation. Yeah. Well, even the orientation is bizarre because it's inverted. So orientation in the sense not of the axis, but just of the y-axis. Actually the z and x axis. The y, it is actually upside down. Alright, so here what you're gonna do is that this bone is following its parent, right? This one, the forearm fan and the wrist fan, which actually maybe I should what is select mirror, let's just control F2B. So instead of wrist, let's call hand, so that might be better. Alright, I've changed from the right, so they follow their they are parent to their respective limb, let's say like that. Alright, so it's just a bone constraint matter. I think here is the same idea, right? Well, Shift Alt C, no, Shift Alt C. So this is the constraints, copy constraints to selected bone, right? Is my shortcut for that. Alright, so this is mimicking the same, but this might have some problems. Let's try. Yeah, because the location is different, right? So let's adapt here. I think local space with own orientation, local space with own orientation. Let's try now. Yeah, but it's doing the reverse. It's like it needs to be here towards the obtuse angle of the limbs. You see, it's bending and creating a smaller angle here, the sharp angle, and is the sharp angle in English. Acute angle. And obtuse. Okay, acute and obtuse. Fine. So that means that All right, so you see, this is the logic. It's derotating this one, so it's going lagging behind, and it is, this will be the, yeah, doesn't work like that. Okay, so here we have the obtuse angle, and this acute angle. So this should be going in this direction, and this should be going in this direction, so towards the obtuse and not towards the acute area angle in this area as this bone is doing. So let's get here this view. I don't understand why it doesn't control Z the annotation, but it's okay. After we get used to that behavior, sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. So, and how to solve this? So I'm not gonna record anything here. I will first try to find a solution. Oh yeah, of course. So it's just a question of inversion here. So what do I decide to invert? As we rotate here, we will get so the same rotation. I could invert here, that should work, but I think this will be better. Then we get, so Control V, so let's get this and this. So Control here, 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 and here. Then let's go back on the other one to prove that this will work. It is Control C. No, it's okay. Yeah. Control V, Control V, Control V, Control. Yeah. So no, it doesn't work. It's not like that. Is everything correct? Yeah. So apparently this is a mistake. So it's just minimum with minimum. Yeah, it's different. So here, let's leave it like here. Just invert these ones. No, I think this is not inverted. This is correct. Then map 2. It's oh, nothing got inverted here. What is happening here? Oh no, this is correct. Okay, this is inverted because we want the default bone. They are derotators, so this is why now they are matching means and means. That means that it is this big, because this bone needs to do the opposite of the opposite, because it is yeah, it is different, right? It's in reflection of this bone. So here we just get, oh, there's something wrong here, right? So here, because it's the inversion, so this is the same here. We got to get this right. So now they are equivalent, and here if I get this bending, then we'll have derotations. So this is derotating like outside here, and this is derotating outside here. Exactly. And here now the same thing, the angle that is forming here, now they are derotate. You see, this is not aligned with here, it's going outside, and this one is going outside. So this same thing also happens through these two bones, so it doesn't really matter. We'll have derotation for both. So this is how you make a master Dualfen bone setup for the automation rig, because there is still the problem of how we wave paint this thing, this contraption. And actually this is not so complicated, but it takes some, yeah, this is advanced rigging, right folks? So this needs, oh, there's no deformed bone here, right? Why? Hand, okay, this is the hand. Alright, so how, let's fix this at once. This is the same here, right? So this is wave painted, this is not. So how do we paint that? It's very simple. We just get here to the vertex groups panel. We are going to there's no vertex group here. Now there is, so I'm gonna copy this, gonna delete now. Must be on some other mode, I guess. So here we're going to, really, wave paint mode. Alright, let's, why it is not removing? Edit mode, object mode. Alright, so never mind. Okay, so don't know why. Maybe it was selected, I don't know. Maybe you cannot do this on. Okay, so then we get here. Oh, I've clicked it, auto generates, of course. So let's try to, it's hand, right? Now I cannot delete this on anything on, oops. Why I can delete the hand? But I can't delete, who knows. Anyways, so here there's no waves. We're gonna get this one. That's okay. We're gonna copy this. We're gonna get here, duplicate. Yeah, duplicate. Control V. Wait. Alright, control, name anything here. Wait. This thing is mad, right? I think it's bugged. So I just want to, okay, so this creates, yeah, this it is a new behavior. Let's record a bug here, folks, on this Blender version. So folks, there's apparently a bug here in the, or a strange behavior happening. You see, first I cannot delete a vertex group on wave paint mode. I was certain that it was possible before, when I have, for example, this def4 fan hand left bone, right? I want to, yeah, there's no waves here, but let's say I do something here. Okay, I delete, it seems to reset the waves, but it doesn't delete the vertex group. Okay, but it's not stopped there. If I try to, for example, I want to copy it, for example, as I was trying to do, that is Blender 4.3.2, by the way. So here I get to, I've duplicated for them this hand bone, which is this one, right? I've duplicated it, made a copy, right? Copy, duplicate here. So I'm gonna, what I want is I want to delete this one. So to copy this name right here, right? gonna recopy just so into it, so I gonna get these waves again into here. The problem is that, okay, let's change the name here, doesn't matter. And then, okay, it changed the name, but then it, you see, it regenerated automatically. I didn't do nothing, it just instantly regenerates. So I cannot get this merge into this, because now if I copy here, it's already have its name, but there's not the right waves. So now, of course, there is nothing that I yeah, so I cannot do this, the old method for this easy transferring, because this automated setup here, which is system, right, which is not allowing me to do the trick. However, if I delete here, I need to go on object mode. Okay, now I can delete, but this seems to be a drawback to the previous behavior it had. So okay, now I transferred to it, but you see all that I had to do, and now I can delete. So apparently something was, and I'm waving mode, so something very strange. Two things were strangely happened. I wasn't able to delete the vertex group. It was constantly regenerating itself whichever I did, so in a sort of, so I don't know if it's some interaction. I'm using easy waves extension, but no, I think this is might be something about this version here. So now we finally can delete those things, and yeah, got it here. And I can't delete it. I delete, but it doesn't delete the vertex group. It's just zero it out, right? So this is strange, right? Yeah, so that's it, folks. Hope this helps in some fixing or assessment of what's going on. Alright, let's go back here and get these waves regenerated, right? Okay, don't need that. No, it's got the other side, which is correct. Okay, now that I have this, I have mirror modifier, right? I'm just going to, let's say if it is true what I saw in a very old Royal Skies tutorial regarding the smooth operator. He stated that maybe he demonstrated in some way that it is possible to have a to control the smooth with masking, the smooth operator in the wave paint mode. I know that this wasn't true for the mask one, but we're gonna test, because I only knew about the mask one. So we're gonna invert this. So I want these locked, these ones, so that's why they are masked now. I want to, so, but not with the paint mask, but with the vertex selection mask set. So I will have this selection here. So all these vertices here we don't see very well, but they are not gonna be affected if this theory is correct. So smooth, you see that the waves are being affected or aren't. So I want to contract. So it does look like, hold on, smooth. So it is true. So they fixed that. Is it possible? Yes. They fixed for both. Yes. Oh, yes. So great improvement. They didn't mention that, I think. So that worth a highlight, folks. I don't know when they did that, but they might be on recent, very recent versions after Blender 4. Somewhere into Blender 4, I guess. Thanks, Blender, folks. So a major upgrade. Well, it's a utility upgrade, very good one. Which upgrade is not utility, right? In software. So here, folks, they fixed one of the problems that even Royal Skies mentioned in a very old tutorial, I think, about the smooth operation on wave paint mode, which we could use the paint mask or the vertex selection, anyways, masking solutions for the wave paint mode, such as this, to lock the smooth operation to affect certain regions. Apparently it worked with, he mentioned it would work with the vertex selection, but it was chaotic, unstable, and not reliable, but sometimes it could work. I had this experience without even knowing the tutorial, I think. I had this experience, this frustration as well, but I only tried with the paint mask option. Never occurred that, well, maybe this wasn't working, but maybe, so I haven't even tried with the vertex selection to test. But now in Blender 4.3.2 apparently this is regular and it was solved. So let's try first with the vertex selection. So what I'm gonna do is that I have this, the case scenario here, I have this bone here, this helper fan bone for the hand, which has waves on the hand just as the hand. It has the same waves. I've duplicated them, right? So the same waves, and this one has or had original, which is the fan bone for the forearm. So there are dual fan bones set up here, helper bones, but doesn't matter here what the, so here it is the same waves except subtracted, but I did this manually, right? But we can do now with the proper masking in this Blender version because it works, or it is supposed to be working. So here it just worked for me. Oh, I already have the mask, so this is what I want, right? Can invert also, but doesn't matter. So here we're gonna go here. So I want to exclude this mesh here. So let's start with this one. You see these vertices here are not selected. So the smooth operation, you'll see 3. Let's go back to the bone selection. And let's use the smooth weight. So what I want is contract, minimum contraction here, yeah, maximum contraction, which is a negative value here, -1. And then let's say a lot of iterations, or just because, so you see that it disrupts the unmasked mesh, which is waves, which is not good, right? So instead, Control Z, let's use the mask to vertex selection, and let's use the same smooth operation. Aha! So you see that it didn't affect the masked region. So very good. So this is super useful in certain rigging cases. Control Z, because we're gonna try now with the one paint mask. So we're gonna, I think F9 would reproduce. No, it's not the case. Don't know the shortcut, so repeat Shift R. Okay, but there's nothing to repeat here. So smooth, yeah, it is, there's not smoothing to repeat. So here you see that, okay, smooth, you see that the mask had also worked. So this is working, both masking tools are working. But now I'm not yet satisfied, because I want to assess what about hiding, which is another masking technique for wave painting, one of the best actually. So what if we use the smooth now and shift H? Aha! So this doesn't mask, hiding doesn't mask. It could mask, right? So maybe we could uh, ask them to, the devs, to implement this maybe. Just curious here, let's try another thing. What if I get the selection, right? Okay, I hide, then I go on wave paint mode, then I use the mask, right? Whichever of them, use the operation, and then unmask. The operation didn't work. Oh, okay, I need to. Yeah, okay, of course. Sorry, folks. Shift H. Wave paint mode. Yeah, now it's the mask is there, right? Smooth. Okay, so that works. What about this one? Three, shift H. Okay, so that's it, folks. So I believe the mask, the hiding should also work as a mask, but who knows, right? What is best here? So yeah, so here's just a question for me to complete this the setup. So, but we know that this old new thing is working, which is good, at least for the conventional masking options there on wave paint mode. Alright, so here we gonna get this fixed finally. So I'm going to, this is the last thing we're gonna do today. Yeah, so invert here. So which is the amount of smoothness that I want here? So let's get, I want about here, why not? Yeah, something like here. Iterations, maybe this is too much iterations. There's something weird about the positioning, right? Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to, yeah, this is not really helping, so because it's a bit chaotic. Alright, so maybe here we're gonna do it a bit more manually. So hold on, gonna improve this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna smooth. We're gonna get here about, gonna pull back this a lot. Oh, I see what is happening. Yes, it's still okay. All right. So it's unfortunate. This will not include this area here, which I was expecting, because it doesn't consider this region as part of the smoothness, right? So I have to, Yeah, so just gonna have to record an extra bit here. Yeah, so unfortunately what I wanted to do is not really working, because as the smoothness, it was not, it doesn't consider, it will smooth here also, even though there is some connected waves there, like it will smooth expanding from somewhere in the center, you see, or maybe you don't see. So it can't do what I was trying to do, right? It will find the middle, and this is not considered the middle. So in the end I would have to do this manually, at least if masked, right? So we don't have interference on this, so this is still good, but not exactly what I was looking for, just partially. So this can help, so just that I'll have to like minimize waves here, and then just okay about here maybe, and then just manually make the corrections on these on here. So that will still work, right, for the rig I'm doing, right? It doesn't need this to be exact, but if it would be exact, it will be nicer. We can do exact yet, so if we just look properly at the vertices, but it's not necessary, so we can just get something smoother here that would also work for this system. So we're gonna just make a layering here, and that should be good. Yeah, so there's arguably some other things we could do here, but alright, that seems good. So if we test now, so have the fan bones, you see, dual fan bone system. One is affects, this one is okay, this is wrong. So why I was, sorry folks, so I have a conceptual problem here when I was doing this, so just gotta dissolve this stuff. It's like the complete inverse. That's what I was trying to do, I guess. I don't really know. I just know that these waves shouldn't be there. This is the work for the fan bone of the, oh, the string is too low. Yeah, so maybe we can have, no, this is not, yeah, just limit about here, and that should be it. So essentially, so this fan bone will affect more the hand, right, and this one more on the, yeah, hand, wrist, and forearm, wrist. And so when they work together with some automations, which are I've shown on another highlight, so then they will derotate in the same amount, right, in sync from whichever control bone I use, and they will not extend to other parenting or hierarchy. So it's just double affected by here, and so this is how we solve this. One way to have this solved for this armature, and no crazy rotations, because I'm not using the copy rotation bone constraint, which is Euler rotation issues, right? Forces us to use this. I'm using transformation bone constraint, which can come from the quaternions, from the at least from the map from, and this is the lifesaver, while the map 2 can be default, whatever. So anyway, so that is it. So that is the highlight finally. Alright, so we were, that took a while, but I'm satisfied that we have completed good progress on these. So it's symmetrize, right? Symmetrize this and this. Is there, yeah, so do I have fan bone for the, yes, there is one. You see, it's not a dual one, but we should be fixing this. So here, just gonna set things ready, right? So this one, let's see what is it set up. So this is a simple joint on the elbow. So for this one, it is true, we could be using the okay, let's get here, let's align it with the here, let's align with the depth per arm, except that we're gonna scale on the opposite direction. We are gonna shift alt A like that, gonna call it fan what's this, upper arm, wrong, control shift control alt X, select mirror, yes, extend, so control F2, that will be, instead of elbow, we're gonna call it for upper arm, and then we're gonna add another thing here to strip characters at the end, digits and punctuations. Alright, this is left and the other is right, yeah. Shift alt X, for me it's the select mirror. Then this one, don't need to be looking at the other side. Then here what we got is control S, let's move this, so elbow, so this shift alt X, extend, so we got both selected, control F2, gonna change this, this doesn't need this one, it's just, so instead of elbow we change elbow to forearm, yeah. That will cause a problem, right? Yeah, so elbow, forearm, whatever. So yeah, so here we have to rethink those things later. Anyways, yeah, it might be good to have the name first. So anyways, we got here this well, let's fix this at once then. Control F2, so instead of upper arm we're gonna get elbow upper arm, like that. And about this one is like, I've got it wrong. Elbow forearm, yeah, just the, so I know the time is up, so I'm just fixing this last thing. I'm gonna explain here the elbow, and that is from the end. So here we got just shift alt X, control F2, we're gonna change this forearm to instead wrist forearm, right? This is good. And then for the fan hand, this will be control shift alt X, extend, No, let's do this again just to be just to be sure. The first shift alt X, extend control F2 for arm. So we're gonna get hand, wrist, hand. There will be other ways to get this better, but I think this will work. Alright, now the parent here, let's see how we fix this one. So it is parent to the lower arm. Lower arm? What is lower arm? Oh, the lower arm is the forearm. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not gonna bother with that. So it's parented here, this one actually, and this will be parented to here. Keep offset. The axes are wrong, so gonna control R. Now this is all incorrect, right? What's this? Reset roll. Okay, it's okay, this seems to be right. And for this one, Z up. Okay, just as this one. Okay, this is correct. Then with this parenting, let's see what is the bone constraint. Okay, this is yeah, this is all. You see this local with parent, this will be disastrous, right? You have why does all this invert everything? So basically it's parent to that, and it is inverting the rotation. So let's see how does that actually work. So have the derotation. You see it has got derotation. So we're gonna just get here this. We're gonna get this. We are gonna get the reference here. That's fine. Gonna get some extra bones here, so we can test the theory in practice. Alright, so we get some derotation, and we are suspect that we could have so you see this already seems to be affecting the rotations of the derotation. Yeah, this is very, it's not, doesn't seem to be good, but this is not sufficient for me to, let's say the root is the, yeah, the center of gravity. This is a name target for, oh yeah, you see, there you go, madness going on. So this is because of the local target space, local with parent, so we can't rely on it, right? And now things seems to be, yeah, so it was all broken and I didn't even know, right? I could suspect. So here we need, and beyond this there is some maddening things which can happen if we ever had some combined rotations, which could not be very clear here. Because this is animation, there could be situations where we could have some, yeah, there we go. So this is not safe. I think this is not good. So this is literal garbage setup here. It can work, right? But it's risky, right? Eventually we'll find out problems if we pose some extreme. So why do garbage setup if we know if we can do better? And actually we can do better. So we'll access this in another day, folks. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope that was interesting enough. So we are progressing slowly. That was the finally we fixed the wrist. Finally, then this upper arm will be elbow joint will be simple. Then we can revise here for the knee. I don't have for the ankle, but maybe you can do something about it. The ankle is fine, but it's a bit like the wrist in complexity. I should probably, before I go into, yeah, let's solve the knee later then, and then we finally get to the torso. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care. Happy blending. See ya another time of the week. But for rigging, that will be this for this week. Alright, thank you. See ya, folks. Enjoy.